Hello, welcome to Math This. So this is the continuation of the previous video on how to solve a cubic equation. Now there I use the division to find the quadratic equation as associated with the cubic equation, and then solve for the two zeros, and then you know use those and add it to the first zero we found by substituting the um, one of the multiples of that last number of the equation. Right. So here I won't go into any details. If you have any question, just go back and watch that video. But we'll go ahead and show you how to use this after finding one of the roots, how to find the quadratic equation by not using the division. If that's too hard for you, you can use another method to find that quadratic equation. Solve for solve for the other two roots. So let's go ahead and do that. So the previous root we found, the first root was 2, so we'll write x minus 2 times the format of a quadratic equation, which is ax squared plus bx plus c, and expand this expression. So you'll multiply every term here by every term here, right here. So you start with x, multiply with this right there, -2, multiply by everything right there, and then solve for it. So let's go ahead. X times ax squared, that's ax cubed. X times bx, that's bx squared. X times c, that's cx. -2 times ax squared, that's -2ax squared. -2b x minus 2c. Right. So if we reduce that, we'll have ax cubed. So put every like terms together, right? So we have bx squared and -2ax squared. So we'll factor out the x squared. That will be b minus 2a. And then factor out the x, and we'll have x here, we'll have 6c minus 2b, and then of course 2c at the end. So now that we have this equation, it follows almost the same format as that, exactly, basically. So so all the coefficients here are equal to the coefficients here, or to the terms of this new equation. So our a here, what is the coefficient? What does a correspond in the old equation? It's that, right? It's 1. That's why we didn't write anything there. So we know our a equals to 1. So we have a. Now the x, on the x squared term, we have b minus 2a, and that equals to -4 in the original equation. So we already know a equals to 1. So writing this like this still correct. So solve for b and get -2. So b is -2. So for c, we know this term here, you can use that, but that will be too long. So let's use this. -2c equals to +30. So -2c equals to 30. So that means our c equals to what? -15, right? So we have all our values here, and we can write it in so replace all these values in this equation here, the quadratic equation there. So we'll have basically x squared minus 2x minus 15, right, equals to 0. Now if you solve for the roots of this equation, you have the other two roots. So basically, see, that's basically the same as the division, right? So here we can use a discriminant to, or if you are really good at like solving these really fast, you can do it in your head or something. But let me show you the discriminant way to do it. Discriminant equals to b squared minus 4ac, right? So here our b in this equation, basically, see that there, at b, this squared minus 4 times a and c, right? So but we are using the values in this equation, right? So our b here equals what? Our b equals to -2 squared minus 4 times a is 1 times c is -15, right? To solve that, we'll have 4 here plus what? 60. That's 64. So, and once you have the discriminant, to find the roots, you use this formula. X1 equals -b minus square root of the discriminant over 2a, and then x2 equals to -b plus square root of this discriminant over 2a. So go ahead and plug in that formula. You have -2 minus square root of 64 over 2a, and this one plus square root of 64 over 2, right? So we'll go ahead and solve this. We'll have +2. Square root of 64 is 8. So you have 2 minus 8. That's -6 over 2. That's -3. And then here we have 2 plus 8. That's 10 over 2. That's 5. Right. So these are your x's. I mean your roots. Your roots. So since we already found out that the first root was 2, so you can write the zeros are the roots are 2, -3, and 5. Right. There you go. It's that easy. Now if they ask you to rewrite that equation on another form, like factor them out, for example, factor this equation out, you can write it like this. You already have the zeros, right? So all you do is write x minus whatever roots you found. So -2 times x minus minus, that's positive, so +3 times x minus 5, right, equals 0. That's it. If you like this video, please, and one more tutoring, more videos on math, algebra, geometry, and physics, please like this channel, subscribe, and like these videos. I'll be making a lot of videos in, like I said, algebra, geometry, statics, engineering statics, general physics, but if you have any specific problem you want me to do any videos on, don't forget to post it in the comments, and I will come back with a video on it. All right, thank you.